Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2013 Your Natural Baby Fair. I'm Sunny Galt. I am the CEO of New Mommy Media. I like to call myself Mommy in Charge. And we have got 3 podcasts that we produce. One's focused on pregnancy. It's called Preggy Pals. One's focused on parents with newborns, infants, and toddlers, and that is called Parent Savers. And then our third show is called The Boob Group for moms who breastfeed their babies or plan to breastfeed their babies. And so we're live, as I said, here at the Your Natural Baby Fair. You can hear a lot of stuff going on. We're like in the main speaker hall, so there's going to be people passing by as we talk today, which is really awesome. So this discussion is all about exploring your options when it comes to childbirth classes, because you have a lot of options out there. And so we're kind of going to break it down a little bit today, give you a taste of some of the ones that are more popular, to see if it's something that might interest you. One thing I want to add to this, and actually most of these ladies have been on our shows in the past, and that is that we actually did a series on Preggy Pals that focuses in on childbirth preparation methods. And we spent I think it's like a half hour on each of these big, what would you call them? Methods? Big methods. So some of the main methods, and really broke it down for you. So if you go to preggypals.com and just kind of type in, childbirth, you'll see all of those different episodes. That's a really good resource for you guys to check out. But today it's just an idea, try to get a feel for something that might interest you. Perhaps you could do a Google search and find out more information based on the information we're going to give you today. And so we've got some fabulous educators that are here. And I should say also that they are doing a panel here at the Your Natural Baby Fair, and there's going to be more people that are part of it as well. But again, that's happening here live at the fair. We know that you're not here live at the fair, so we just want to give you a taste of what you could expect. So I'm going to start by really letting you ladies introduce yourself and say a little bit more about the method that you teach. And let's just start with that. So, Kara, why don't you get going?
Okay. I'm Kara Messer, and I live here in San Diego, and I teach hypnobirthing. That's how I delivered my baby, and I'm in love with it. I've taught for about 4.5 years.
Okay.
And I'm Rachel Vence. I'm with San Diego Hypno Babies, which is a different form of hypnosis for childbirth. And I teach breastfeeding and baby care classes as well.
Okay.
And my name is Kimberly.
Oh, you know what? Wait a sec, Kimberly, because I can't hear her mic. This is live, so we're going to check something. Hey, Bill. Bill's our videographer. Bill, no, I don't think it's you. I actually don't think it's turned up.
You're going to share your mic like I was going to share my silverware with you?
It's a loving community.
Channel 4 and 5 Bill need to be turned up. They're on. You can't hear it at all. So channels 4 and 5.
Right.
It's on 0. Turn it up pretty much all the way. You gotta love being live.
Oh, I think that's good.
Wait. I think you need to go louder because you're adjusting. Whoa, that's me. Okay, wait. Maybe, do you want me to do it? Okay. So 4 and 5. All right, Kimberly, say something in the mic so we can test it.
That would be me.
Turn
Does that work? A little bit louder.
Yeah.
I like loud.
No, it's going the wrong way.
Yeah, you really need loud.
Yeah, you do.
Thanks, Care.
Whoa. Okay, so hang on. Okay, talk amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
All right.
You don't
So,
need
Care,
a
what's
mic.
your best part of the
Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh. I think all the moms that are coming out asking questions because they have no clue what's going on.
There's a lot of mommies out here and a lot of babies. It's like the whole baby.
Well, and we're getting moms that are really not very pregnant, and so they're getting education early, which I like.
Yeah, I think I can hear me now. Good? All right. This is live. This is what live is all about. In the moment.
Well, you've done radio before. You should be able to ad-lib
I can
there.
ad-lib with the best of them.
All right, hello. Okay.
What a good boyfriend does right there.
I know, Mike. You need to share the love.
Okay, so
mine.
we're back. Focus in. We're talking about childbirth preparation methods. And Kara's going to kick us off. Go ahead. Say it again.
Oh, we're doing it again.
Yeah.
My name's Kara Messer, and I teach hypnobirthing in San Diego. I've done it for about 4.5 years, and that's how I delivered my baby.
Okay.
I'm Rachel Vence with San Diego Hypno Babies, which is another method for hypnosis and childbirth.
Okay, Kimberly.
And my name is Kimberly Bianco, and I teach the Bradley method. I've been teaching here in San Diego for about 14 years, and it was the method that I had with my son 16 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, scary.
I teach Birthing from Within. My name is Stephanie Adams. I've been teaching it for about 2.5 years, and it's also the method I use to birth all 3 of my children.
Okay, all right. So I guess we should go through what is it about, because I think one of the big questions that a lot of new moms have is which method is right for me. I mean, what advice do you have for women out there? I mean, anyone can really answer this, about how do you find the method that's right for you? I mean, do certain methods require moms to have certain types of personalities? Or, I mean, how do you even go about doing this? Anyone?
Research.
Just research?
Research is important. We are so fortunate here to have so many options available, and moms have choices, families have choices, and to learn what those choices are.
Yeah.
Because everything's going to resonate a little differently with each person. Babies isn't for every family, and so it's important they know that there are other options that are out there, just like different choices that we have in parenting in general. Parenting starts during your pregnancy.
Yeah.
And I tell them to go and get the books. I'm like,
Really?
you can read every single book, and the one that hits you in the heart, that's the one that's for you. Because some are more powerful, some are more quiet, some are more total educational, and
Yeah.
it really, everybody's personality is different. And you're right, it's not for everybody.
And I think it also depends on your partner who is going to be attending the birth, or if you're going to have someone attending the birth with you. I mean, Bradley is really about knowledge and understanding what's happening with the body and the anatomy, and so the partner and the mom can really be educated as to what's happening. And for some partners, they don't or can't take that much of an active role. So I think it really depends on who your birthing team is going to comprise of.
Yeah, Stephanie, what do you think?
I really encourage parents to just explore what their needs are, what they want to know, what they feel they need. Maybe they really need a lot of information, so going to a class that's filled with a lot of that, but maybe they need a lot more emotional support and working through some concerns and finding a class that can really tend to those needs. So just encouraging them to really know what it is they want. And there's classes out there that fit those needs.
You know, I always like to know of the women that teach these methods, like who actually gave birth using their method.
I did.
Did you?
I did.
Because I almost think that the proof is in the pudding. Like it's like going to a hairstylist when they don't do their own hair or their hair looks bad. I'm like, okay, well, why would I come to you?
Well, and I was so freaked out about birth, I just wanted to be completely numb, and I didn't care how much medication I had. And then when I found out I was allergic to every drug, I had to find a natural method, and they all looked fishy to me anyway. And the only reason I even chose hypnobirthing was because my niece had done it 3 times and said, just read the book. And so I read it kind of tongue-in-cheek, and I was like, oh my gosh, we've done natural birth for 200,000 years. Why can't I do it? And then I just needed skills and then education on it. And it was an option I didn't think was even possible. So,
and for me, my background is a childbirth educator. I teach at one of the local hospitals and have for 6 years now. And so evidence-based research is very important to me. And I did use hypnosis with my last birth, and I found that it wasn't quite what I was looking for because I didn't use any of the methods that we're discussing. And I knew that there had to be something out there that combined it in a way that would resonate with me. So while my birthing wasn't with hypnobabies, I knew that it was out there. And I've had so many wonderful experiences. I live vicariously now through my students.
Don't you? It's so true. It's so true. Because when they come back, they're like, 4 hours. Oh my gosh, that thing just slid right out. And I'm like, oh, that's what it's supposed to be like. And they don't all have births like that. They don't. But when they do, it's amazing.
And it's important that they all have a positive experience. You know, you birth your baby your way, the way that your baby needs to come into this world. And there's no judgment associated with it. And we want them to be empowered to make the choices that are right for their family at the time, to have the education and the experience to be able to say, I can do this. This is the right thing for me. And that's what we all want to foster.
Oh, is it all or nothing? Like, do you have to pick one style and stick with it? I've talked to, various moms are like, well, I did a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
That's what should happen.
Really?
You should have a full toolbox.
I found with my doula clients who do take multiple classes that they're very prepared, and often their births go fairly smoothly because they just feel more comfortable being so prepared.
And with their bodies. They just feel like, okay, well, I'm going to take a little of this, and this feels right, and that didn't even come from a class. It's just they kind of tune into their instincts, which is what they should do anyway.
Right. I mean, one of the things with Bradley, while we do talk about the anatomy and what's happening with your body, we also say that you need to really emulate what's instinctive. And when you watch an animal, I mean, that's what Dr. Bradley did. Is he was raised on a farm and he watched animals, and they did the exact same thing. They went to a cool, dark place. They were very relaxed. So I tell them, you're going to need relaxation is going to be very, very, very important, which is what we all bring to the table. So and I tell them, look, you've got all the tools, and we do relaxation in the classes, and we do imagery, and we do emotional and physical and mental relaxation, and then and then they've got the tools of the anatomy to understand when something goes awry. They understand what that is, and then they're not afraid. So I think it really is a culmination of a lot of different methods out there. And I tell them, like hypnobirthing is a great complement to Bradley, or even hypnobabies, or some people do the birthing from within. So it just, I think it's the whole experience of being pregnant that I just tell them, look, do whatever feels right to you. This is 9 months of solitude and being selfish and really embracing and celebrating this time. So do whatever feels good.
Well, and I think too, even moms that they know they have to have a cesarean, whether it's planned or they've it's just going to happen, that they still need those skills. They need to relax. They need to communicate with baby. You're coming out the side door. You're not coming out the front door. Right. And so they can have an empowered birth and get their birth team, to let them listen to music and to keep the OR quiet and to let that baby get on them skin to skin. And you can have a beautiful cesarean if you're educated about it and get your doctors on board. And there are doctors in San Diego that have amazing cesareans. I mean, they're beautiful moments, and every birth should be that way.
Right. And the things that you do during your birth, you take through with your entire life. I mean, with the hypnobabies techniques, I didn't birth my children with hypnobabies, but I use my hypnobabies techniques every day. Those relaxation techniques that you learn, the anesthesia, hypnoanesthesia that you create, the affirmations, it's all part of the parenting process that we use, and we're parenting ourselves as well, nurturing our own souls as much as our children.
I agree very much with you that a lot of what they learn in these classes comes with them into the parenting, because they've never experienced being a parent before, and it's all new. And so a lot of what these classes bring is practicing just being in the moment and not worrying about what's going to happen a week from now or what's going to happen 10 contractions from now. Just this is what's happening right now and being present in the moment.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What are your guys' thoughts about classes, that you go to that are through the hospital? Maybe actually, Rachel, maybe you'd have a really good perspective on this versus something that you would do through like an independent practitioner or a doula or something like that.
I get that question a lot from people, because as a perinatal educator who does work for a hospital and one who teaches hypnobabies as my own business, people often ask me if I have a difficulty switching between the two. And my perspective is I don't, because there is a population for whom the hospital class is the right choice for them. And I want them to have some education. I want them to get evidence-based research. I want them to be prepared for what their process is. And some people, that's their journey that they take. In hypnobabies, whether it's your first or your fifth baby along the way, we're giving a different set of tools. And that's true for all of these methods that we're discussing. And I often find that with second, third, or fourth babies, they may choose a different method because they felt they had to go through those steps the first time. And I would rather get that those parents know that there are options available to them. And when you show up to a class, here at least you're getting the basics of information, which is very important for you to have.
What I often say in my classes, we don't have a magic secret here to birthing. We don't have a magic method that's going to make it all okay and easy, but we're going to fill your tool bag with as many tools and resources as you can so you feel prepared going into the birth. And so I encourage, if they're feeling they want to take a hospital class too or another method, to just fill that tool bag as much as you can.
Absolutely. That's one of the unique things with hypnobabies is that we do say that it can be easy for moms, and with hypnobabies, since it's a full childbirth education process on top of it, they don't need additional classes as well.
I tell that to my clients as well, because a lot of times they'll ask, okay, well, we're delivering at this hospital and they offer this breastfeeding class and this child basics class and that sort of a thing. And I'm actually also a doula. I've been a doula, for 14 years. I've been teaching for 14 years. So I bring a lot of practical experience, and I've been a doula for hypnobirthing moms, from birthing from within with moms. So I've actually learned from a lot of my moms, and I bring a lot of that to my classes. And I think to really be a comprehensive educator and to really be good for our clients, we need to be able to be open and understand the different modalities. Maybe I didn't take it. I don't understand hypnobirthing and all the, the principles of it, but I'm familiar with it. And so to be familiar with that and familiar with the hospital classes, and then to bring a lot of that into our classes. I always tell my students, my role is to make you, a comprehensive, or to make your education comprehensive, and to make you an informed consumer, so that you don't have any questions going into your birth. If an intervention's coming down the pike, you understand what that means, and you know what your options are ahead of time. So, as much information as they can get from as many different sources as they can get, I think is great.
Well, I think, too, only 20% of moms nationally take a class. 20%, that is nothing. And moms need education because they're going to have a better birth if they know the ins and outs. Whether it's, I'm just going to be at the birth center and that's what I'm going to do. Well, you need to know what the hospital's like, because if there's a transfer, you have to be prepared. And if you're doing a home birth, you always pack a bag for the hospital.
Right.
You have to plan for the unexpected and go with the flow of every birth. And the more education you have, the better. But there's some amazing books out there that you can read where they're not fear-based, they're evidence-based, which is what we want in every hospital, every birth class, straight across the board. And good visualizations instead of scary birth stories that fill moms with fear.
I have a lot of doula clients, and I don't know if some of your listeners or viewers, watchers are thinking this, but I've had doula clients come to me and say, okay, well, I want you to be my doula. Great, fantastic. What method have you studied? Oh, I didn't. That's your job. No. That's not my job. My job is not. I need to know what you know and what you don't know. So even if somebody hires a doula, that does not mean that all the responsibility is on the doula and that, you're just going to teach me everything I need to know. And I just really feel that that's important to impart, because it's their responsibility. This is their birth, their right, and their responsibility.
An important part there is that if any parent abdicates that responsibility by saying, well, this person told me that I'm going to follow that process, then they're abdicating what their responsibility is. They're giving up their own power as consumers, as parents, as people, to say, well, this is what I feel and this is why it's important to me. And that empowerment, the ability to have the education and know this is what I want to do, not what someone told me to do.
It has to be important here, not because, well, it's important to her. And I tell my clients, well, if something happened and they're, even my Bradley students, and they come back and I don't want anyone to feel ashamed or disappointed in their birth. And I tell them from the beginning, healthy mom, healthy baby, happy birth, that's how we get there.
Well, and I want to touch on this. One other part of that is a lot of times I feel my moms in my class are the ones sort of pulling their partners into the class, and at the end of the session, the partners are always very excited and thrilled that they got so much information and feel like they're really ready to support their partner even that much more.
And with Hypnobabies, we even have a hypnosis script that's specifically designed for the partner to bring them into the process so that they can work with the mom. And if mom's on her own, if it doesn't have a support partner that's available to her, whether it's a doula or someone else, then we offer those scripts available as well. So can participate for everyone, regardless of what their circumstances are.
And I know we kind of touched on this earlier, but for your individual methods, how important is it that someone physically attend a class as opposed to starting out? I know we talked about starting out reading books and doing research, but how important is it that we actually go to a class? What are we getting out of it?
You get more confident.
Confident?
And not only that, but you connect with resources, because we all have resources in the community and actual physical people that we can say, you need a massage from this, or what about this? And we can connect them with the right resources and the right breastfeeding support groups and the right things that we have locally. Besides the fact that I like my dads to come. They say, oh, my husband doesn't want to come. We'll do a private class. And I'm like, you know what? You want to get dad on board, you get him in with all those other guys, and they're all making fun the first week going, what the heck is this stupid thing? And by class 5, they're like, I could totally birth this baby myself. Like, they're so confident. And that's what gets mom to have a good birth, is if she gets dad looped in, because that's what she wants. She wants the connection, and not just dad, all partners. They want the connection, and they want to bring this baby in with joy and love and support. And when everybody's involved, and that's why I think in-person classes are important. I know we can do home study. We can all do home study, but that should be secondary if we can get to a class.
In class, the parents get an opportunity to really practice hands-on some of the pain coping techniques that we do in Birthing from Within, exploring all the different processes that are offered in the book. They actually get to do it, and I always say, the more you practice it, the easier it's going to be to call it up when you're actually in labor and access it. So it gives them that opportunity to really practice it before the big day.
And for hypnobabies, if a family can't make it to a class, then they have the home study opportunity for them to do, as was mentioned before. And they also have the opportunity to schedule a private home study advantage class, where as an educator I can go to their home and help them with their birthing rehearsal. Okay. With hypnobabies, we do a full birthing rehearsal with mom and hypnosis through the entire time, partner hands-on, really working with them. We do that in class week, in class 6 in that last week that we do. But we can do that with families with home study advantage, or if they're home study students, they can always come into a class 6 and have that experience, even if it's only one class as opposed to all 6.
Yeah, I think I do private classes, as well as the group class. I think in the group setting that my students get a lot out of being around the other students as well, and they develop this community. I actually saw some moms walking by that were just in my class, and they hang out
together.
That's cool. Yeah.
And I find years later somebody comes up to me. Actually, the guy that was on previous was in one of my classes, and they, we still hang out with so and so. We go to each other's birthday parties and that kind of stuff. So I think that community and that camaraderie is really important, and they kind of support each other. I actually had a mom
the same age,
right?
Yeah, they're all going through the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
The discussions that they provide to each other are just so rich because they're expressing concerns and interest in things that they may not want to speak up and ask, but they feel safe when the other person does, and then they all have this opportunity to discuss with each other. In Birthing from Within, I come from the place of not being like, I'm the one with all the information. I really open it up to them to provide and discuss and learn from one another, and I know it's very similar across the board.
I had one instance. It was actually at the birth center not long ago where mom went into early labor in class.
We just had one last week.
And I was like,
well, hey, is there a better place to really go?
Yeah, so everybody was like, and I said, are you okay? And everybody rallied around her, and they all knew exactly what to do. And, she didn't give birth until the next day, but still, there's that kind of community. And I understand that, when dealing with proximity, some people just don't have the opportunity to go to classes.
Yeah.
So there are options. I don't want anyone to feel like they, if I can't go to a class, then it's useless. Not at all. As we all said, we all have books, the Bradley book, and there's lots of those books. And I recommend a lot of other people. I recommend the Dr. Sears books. So there's a lot of options, but I think if they can build that community, even if it's not in a class, but if they have that opportunity to build some kind of a community, I think that really helps.
And every community has babies.
Yeah.
Every community.
And evidence-based education is never a waste. You may not be utilizing it that particular time, but it's there. It's something that you own, and no one can ever take it from you.
Right. Online. You can access anything online, not just the scary stuff. You can access good stuff.
Well, and you could probably even access, I'm sure, online classes, like if you couldn't attend a class. That might be an option too, right?
Yeah, there's
absolutely.
several.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
There's 1,000 different methods out there.
Yeah.
Options.
So, is there anything else that we need to add? Anything that you guys want to let our audience know?
Educated.
Stay educated. Get educated.
And really make it your own personal. I tell people, they come in and they've got, okay, I'm going to be birthing my baby in 6 weeks. Well, I haven't had time to think about it up to now because of work and whatever. That's a shame.
Plan
you know what?
ahead.
You've got 9 months to embrace this and to feel the changes and to feel the baby growing and celebrate the whole entire 9 months.
Yeah.
That's, I think, really, if I could have anybody take away, it's that start early, enjoying and reading and celebrating this birth and this life.
And know that you can always take this moment to be the moment that you change.
Yeah.
You can take this moment to be the moment that you say, I will make a difference today.
It's never too late.
Yeah, just be aware that you do have a lot of options when it comes to your birth, and just learning what they are and wrapping your mind around what it is, how you really like to see your birth be.
Good advice, ladies. Thank you so much. For more great parenting information, be sure to check out our shows. I mentioned them earlier, but they're Preggy Pals, Parent Savers, and the boob group. And for those of you watching us live online, you can save 50% off all of our club memberships. Visit the members section on all of our show pages and enter promo code YNBF 2013, which stands for Your Natural Baby Fair 2013. And for links to all of our show websites, if you aren't already familiar with our shows, you can head on over to newmommymedia.com. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about how to manage those speed bumps when you're breastfeeding. So we'll be right back.